Toyad.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Monday, the 28th day of April 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. 2 more days and election day will be upon us. Also today, elections in Canada take place as well. It'll be interesting to see what the results are later on tonight. I'm sure that many of you will be following those results. I can say definitively that yes, I will be following those results, as well. So we hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, some portions of the road may be wet. When I was coming in this morning, it was still a light rain falling. Not sure what the conditions are outside at this point in time, but if you are a pedestrian or a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, please ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a happy belated birthday to you. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Yum. Daily school lunch menus are available to browse on the Yum website. Just visit yumcayman.ky for more information. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery, and we want to say welcome back to our 2 colleagues here at Radio Cayman, DJ Lynn and Mr. Joel Wilson. Welcome back. Great to have you back as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. Of course, this Wednesday, there are no plans to have a show, but maybe that will change. Maybe we can talk management into it. We know that there are other plans as well, but if you want to have a show on Wednesday morning, as well, let us know. get involved in the conversation, and we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, we have a toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. If you want to talk to us, of course, the beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take any calls. The toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. But we will have paid guests in the studio at 7:45, so that may not be possible. Other numbers are 949-6990, 949-8037, WhatsApp number 925-3261. Let's look at the birthday shout-outs. First of all, we see that Miss Rosita Borden celebrated her birthday on Saturday, so a happy belated birthday to Miss Rosita Borden. Mr. John Christian, he's Fireman John, cyclist, he's celebrating his birthday today, so we want to wish him a happy birthday. Big shout out to cyclists in our group, Mr. John Christian. We see that also today Paul Biles celebrating a birthday, as well as Ms. Esther Anderson also celebrating a birthday. And we also see that Miss Vidi Smith, better known as Aunt Vidi of Cayman Brack, she will be celebrating her 102nd birthday on the 30th of April, which is election day. Happiest birthday wishes are coming from Sue Martin, Marcia, Colin, Kenya, also her friends and family. So happy 102nd birthday when it comes on Wednesday at Vidi. And to remind you again that For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. I think another one just came in. Let's see. No, this is not a birthday shout-out, so we won't talk about that as well. One reminder, and one of our colleagues here at Radio Cayman this morning was talking about this very, very important point. We haven't heard it raised much about elections, but one point to remember is that the polls open at 7 and close at 6. But if you are online, if you're within the polling station, you're online in line at 6 o'clock, then even if everyone hasn't completed voting, as long as you're online or in line at 6 o'clock, then you are allowed to vote. The vote has to continue until all of those persons who were there at 6 o'clock are allowed to vote. If you come after 6 o'clock, that's a different story. You'll have to wait until there's maybe a by-election, a referendum, or you would have to wait 4 years, to be able to vote again. But if you are online at 6 o'clock, you are allowed to vote as well. With that, we're going to go to a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after this short commercial break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Samuel Osbert Bertie Ebanks, Certificate of Honor, JP, 1909 through 1996. Bertie Ebanks, like most of his contemporaries, started his working life as a seaman. Early in his career, he survived the sinking of the Vita Louise, on which he was an engineer. He became the Cayman Islands' first public health officer and sanitary inspector. Among his accomplishments were his insistence on sanitary disposal of household wastes and the immunization of the entire population against diphtheria and polio. With a budget of only £500, he eradicated the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which carries yellow fever, a feat that still baffles experts. Mr. Bertie served in the Assembly of Justices and Vestrymen as an elected member for West Bay from 1934 to 1942 and as a Justice of Peace from 1946 to 1959. He established the 4-H Club, the West Bay Cooperative Fishermen's Society, and the West Bay Reading Society and wrote a book, Cayman Emerges. In 1930, he organized the Bosun Bay Sunday School, which was the forerunner of the Bosun Bay Presbyterian Church. He was awarded the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 1976 in recognition of services rendered to his country.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts Building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Hey Cayman parents, we get it. You're underslept, over-trafficked, you can barely find your sanity in the morning because you're still trying to find your kids' shoes and lunch boxes. Let Yum take some of the stress away. Every day, over 3,000 students enjoy delicious, nutritious meals from Yum. Over 5 million lunches served and counting. Private school parents, browse the Yum Cayman app and order up to a month in advance or last minute by 12 a.m. the night before. Government school students, just drop by the Yum canteen. No pre-orders needed. Yum can't help you find your sanity, but we can sure make your mornings just a bit easier. Check out daily menus at myschoolpos.com or visit yumcayman.ky to learn more.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero, or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We expect a guest in the studio. That guest should be here fairly soon. Meanwhile, we do have a caller. Let's grab the caller before we go to our guest. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, not too bad, man. You're working hard, man. Morning and midday, man. And then you're doing your job.
Yep. Just doing what I enjoy. What do you have to tell me?
Yeah, OC, I want you to ask the minister. A lot of people is asking this question. I think I spoke about it already. A lot of people is saying that they cannot vote on the port or they cannot vote on the lottery because nobody has come on to explain who is going to control the lottery government or who and where will the port be built. Because many people say they agree for a port, but not in Georgetown. And people are telling me, a lot of people are saying that they ain't voting on any of those because nobody from government has come on to explain it. So can you find out that they still got time midday today and tomorrow sometime to explain?
I'm gonna interrupt you just to correct you. Minister Bryan was on Thursday night right here on Radio Cayman. There was a roundtable discussion on the referendum questions as well. We also had Mr. Elio and a gentleman by the name of Alexander Gums on Friday. They're from the ACT group, as well. So I don't know where people are listening or what they're listening to, but the information is out there. Not to mention all of the commercials that are running on it as well.
Yeah, so did they explain who's going to control the lottery and how it's going to be controlled? Did they do that? Because
they didn't. No one has gone into detail because what they're discussing is the referendum question. I understand what people are saying, that they want more information, but it appears to me that that information will come when you reach the next stages. This is just an advisory opinion that is being sought now in terms of should we have cruise berthing facilities, should we decriminalize the use of small amounts of ganja. The details will come later on. It's just the focus right now is on the referendum question. If you don't get past that, then that's basically it.
Okay. All right. Okay, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. I believe we have another caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. This is Kenneth Bryan on the phone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry about my lateness, but I'm especially reminded of the traffic this morning. I had to drop my daughters to school because of school is fully back in now, so
yes.
Got a good dose of traffic. So I'm really, but I'm closely listening, and I apologize that we haven't been able to get as much information out often enough to answer the question of the last caller. So I thought I'd just call in, and then I'll be back in the studio by 7:15. But to answer the caller's question about location for the dock, that's early stages. It would be up to the next administration. If the people of the Cayman Islands give the government permission to build a cruise infrastructure, whether known as a pier or a dock, it would be for them to decide where it's going to be what size it's going to be, the costing models and how they're going to pay for it, which I suspect will be paid for using the funds that they normally would pay for the tender company after it's built, not before. So there will be no negative effect on the tender company and its workers. As for the lottery, I think his question was who would be in charge of it. And naturally, I think it'd be fair to say that it has to be regulated and licensed by the Cayman Islands, whether it be done by the Cayman Islands government itself or licensed out to private sector for them to deliver. That would be determined. And I think the voting yes would only give the government of the day the opportunity to investigate what is the best way forward for a yes vote, whichever one of the questions that you say yes to, if there's a yes outcome, the government will then take the next steps moving forward. It's not an automatic yes, meaning if you say yes to the dock, a dock starts building tomorrow. Or if you say yes on lottery, a lottery starts tomorrow. It just gives the government the authority to investigate the best ways to deliver. For example, a lot of people said, well, why didn't we give a project first before asking the question? Well, what if the public generally just says they don't want to pay, period? It would make not much sense to decide. It would not make much sense to go moving forward, spending a lot of money and a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of public consultation, and then for the people in its general terms saying, no, we never wanted to pay her in the first place, regardless of where you put it, regardless of what it costs, or regardless of how you're going to develop it. So these are preliminary questions to give the permission to the next administration to decide after a yes or no vote how they will move forward with the topics. So hopefully that gives a clear answer to the caller. Once I'm back in the studio, I'm happy to answer more to that. But like you said, we were on the show, and it's going to be repeated on the government TV. And if persons want to go back to the YouTube channel and Radio Cayman for the segment that we did on Thursday, I'm certain that most of the questions will be answered on there. I think many people are not, or many elected members are focusing more on their seat. I'm probably the only member who is actually discussing the referendum, and I guess that's the penalty for being the catalyst for the referendum in the first place. But as we wrap up before we go to the 8 o'clock news, I want to say the reason why I thought it was important for us to have a referendum on these things is we have to have an answer on these subjects once and for all, and some clear direction from the people. And that's why, though most politicians are focusing on their own seat rather than these significant questions, these questions are going to pop up again in the next administration. And it's only right that we use this opportunity to find out where our people stand on these topics so we can actually take action or take no action or do the reverse. So that's the main reason why you see that we've decided to do that. And I'm happy to take any other questions when we come back from the break.
Okay, sounds good. Look forward to having you in the studio sometime soon. Deputy Premier, Honorable Kenneth Bryan. Folks, with that, we are going to go to our 8 o'clock news. Before we go, I was corrected several times, actually. Ms. Susan corrected me here in the studio, as well as one of our listeners corrected me as well to say that they think that I mean inline, not online. Yeah, because that could be misinterpreted. Person say, well, I was online, I was Googling. So inline as opposed to being, online at the close of the poll. If you're there, then I'm trying to find a section of the law that actually speaks to that. And when I do, then I will share that with you as well. Meanwhile, someone was curious, wanting to know about what to wear. I can tell you what you can't wear. You can't wear within the confines of a polling station any shirt or pin or anything that says vote for any particular candidate, or even let's say wearing a party T-shirt or something like that. That is not allowed on election day as well. And I will look at the legislation and find a relevant law so that I can read it to you verbatim as well. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for the record with Deputy Premier Honorable Kenneth Bryan. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now, a minute after 8. Brought to you with the kind compliments of Foster's.
Change is in the bag at Foster's. We've taken an important step in our commitment to a cleaner, greener Cayman by removing single-use plastic bags from our checkouts. Bag for better with our durable, cost-effective, reusable bags, thoughtfully designed to help reduce plastic waste and protect the natural beauty of our islands. By choosing reusable and using it often, you become part of the bigger picture, a community-driven effort to reduce waste and care for our environment. Every small choice adds up to something greater. So bring your bags back and we'll make a real impact together. Foster's. Better because we care.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. After a review of Caribbean utility companies' 4 scenarios as options to meet Cayman's additional energy generation needs submitted to the Utility Regulation and Competition Office back in June, ERCO has selected option 1. This provides exclusively for firm generation capacity, quote, in line with requirements under CUC's transmission and distribution license. ERCO says an RFP will be, quote, issued shortly to promote and, quote, manage competitive bidding. ERCO says the decision on CUC's certificate of need, quote, took longer than usual because the power company's submission included, quote, alternative proposals for generation that failed to meet its license and the prescribed format for a certificate of need. CUC identified 4 different pathways, 3 of which included new renewable generation. These scenarios included the option that was chosen, which was just over 90 megawatts of new thermal firm generation capacity, a blend of firm and standalone solar generation, a mix of firm and hybrid solar plus storage generation, and finally a portfolio combining hybrid solar plus storage with no new firm generation. CUC says its preferred option called for 100 megawatts of utility-scale solar plus battery storage and 36 megawatts of thermal generation. CUC says ERCO's decision, quote, perpetuates reliance on fossil fuels as the primary generation source for Grand Cayman's energy future. It went on to say that all submitted options were, quote, fully consistent with its T&D license requirements. Cayman participates in the 2025 National Hurricane Conference held in New Orleans, Louisiana. The conference brought together emergency services professionals, meteorologists, and industry leaders from across the region to share insights and strengthen disaster readiness ahead of the upcoming Atlantic hurricane season. This year's conference also marked 20 years since Hurricane Katrina struck Louisiana in August 2005. The discussions echoed local commemorations held in the Cayman Islands last year to recognize the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Ivan. Government says it remains committed to enhancing national resilience through continuous learning, collaboration, and investment in capacity building. And hey, teens, pigs, chickens, farming, veterinary services, any of those piquing your interest? If so, now's your chance to snag a spot to school up. CIGTV's Lavita Thompson reports.
The Department of Agriculture has launched their internship program and will be accepting applications until the 30th of April. Interested applicants must be 16 or older with an interest in the future of agriculture. The program will last 6 to 8 weeks, and participants will benefit from developing professional skills and gaining experience in agricultural sectors, including veterinary services, crop science, agribusiness, and many others. If interested, email doarecruitment@gov.ky or call 947-3090 for more information. Deadline for applications is April 30th.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. Large parts of Spain and Portugal are without electricity because of a massive power cut. Public transport, communications and many businesses have been affected. Hospitals are operating normally because of the use of generators. President Putin has declared a 3-day unilateral ceasefire in the war in Ukraine. It's due to begin on the 8th of May, coinciding with the 80th anniversary of the defeat of Nazi Germany. A senior Palestinian official has told the International Court of Justice that Israel was blocking humanitarian aid to Palestinians as a weapon of war. The court has begun hearings to examine Israel's legal obligations to provide aid to Gaza and the occupied West Bank. Israel halted all humanitarian supplies into Gaza almost 2 months ago. Last week, the UN World Food Programme announced it had depleted all of its food stocks in the territory. Canadians are voting in a general election which has been dominated by Donald Trump's trade policy and threats to make the country part of the United States. The Liberal Party of Prime Minister Mark Carney has seen its fortunes transformed during the campaign. Yemen's Houthis say a US airstrike on a detention centre for African migrants has killed nearly 70 people. The US says its operations are aimed at ending the Houthis' threat to shipping in the Red Sea. That's the latest. World News from the BBC.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio. The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, Cayman Islands, and especially the constituents of West Bay Central. My name is Jewel Hides, and I am candidate number 2 on the ballot. I take this opportunity to invite you to my final meeting on the 29th of April at 7:30 p.m. We will be at the Lamar Plaza in Parsons AC parking lot. Come out and hear the plans I have for West Bay Central and the wider Cayman Islands. It's going to be a promising and exciting evening. We're going to have guest speakers and we're going to have lots of information to share with you. On April the 30th, let's reclaim our future together.
Reclaim our future together. It's time to make a change that lasts forever. Say yes to progress, yes to job. Yes to peers that help our youth. Don't let fear decide the way. Vote yes to cruise on referendum day. Vote yes to cruise on referendum day.
Suicide is a deeply painful issue that affects many families here in the Cayman Islands. It is not a sign of weakness, but rather an indication of suffering that deserves our attention and care. Mental health is an essential part of our overall well-being, yet it is often overlooked and stigmatized. The Cayman Islands National Party believes that every person facing mental health challenges deserves support and compassion, and we are committed to fostering a culture where it is safe to speak up and ask for help without judgment. Prevention begins with awareness, education, and open dialogue. Therefore, we encourage everyone to check in on your friends, loved ones, and colleagues, and to seek help if you are struggling. Remember, you are not alone. There is hope and there is help. If you or someone you know is in crisis, please reach out to K-Mind, our national mental health helpline, the Alex Panton Foundation, or any mental health professional for support. Together, we can break the silence, end the stigma, and build a community of healing. nothing. This message is brought to you by the Cayman Islands National Park.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 81 degrees. Relative humidity is 84%. The barometric pressure 30.01 inches and rising. The wind is east-northeast at 10 knots. Overnight low was 74. Synopses indicate moisture being advected from the central Caribbean will continue to allow for isolated showers across the Cayman area this morning, after which a decrease in chance of showers is expected alongside moderate winds and seas as a ridge of high pressure remains over the northwest Caribbean. Forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with isolated showers and possible thunder during the morning. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s with a heat index near 93 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers and temperatures dipping to the mid to upper 70s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet as well. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 9:13, low tide this afternoon at 3:49, and a high tide again tonight at 10:42. The sun will set this evening at 6:46 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:59. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Mommy, why can't dogs talk? Why do I have to go to school and you don't? Why do you sing in the morning when you're bad at it? Why don't you brush your teeth when you take me to school? Why doesn't it ever snow here? Why does Daddy take the bus to work? Why are trees so tall? Why don't you tell me where babies come from? Mommy, Mommy, Mommy!
We're like a kid that doesn't ask a million questions before noon. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Big decisions need real data. Before we vote on April 30th, we deserve to know the full picture.
Building a cruise pier means years of construction, traffic congestion, business closures, and lost jobs. And for what? A project that mainly benefits the cruise lines? Local businesses, tour operators, and family-run shops will feel the impact long before any promised gains materialize. Why should Cayman take on the risk while cruise companies take the reward? Vote no on April 30th.
Caymanians deserve better. Vote no to cruise berthing infrastructure.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
I hope you're ready for change, because I know I am.
Cayman ranking. Ah, yeah. Foot. Born and raised, Cayman strong. Northward roots where I belong. Cayman ranking is the way to vote. Ranking. Cayman ranking. We need. Ranking. For Cayman ranking. We need. Ranking is the medicine that Cayman needs right now. That Cayman needs right now.
The future of Bontown West is in your hands. The time for change is now.
The preceding was a paid political broadcast. The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm John Edward Banks. As a longtime resident of Red Bay, proud member of the Lions Club of Cayman, and a former civil servant, I know what real community service looks like. That's why I'm studying Roy Tatum. Roy has the experience, the heart, and the commitment to truly serve the people of Red Bay. I'm standing with Roy Tatum, and you should too.
We're moving forward, baby.
forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning again. Let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. Further up on Shamrock Road, flowing moderately. Further down, a little more traffic, but nothing to worry about too much. On the lane for Pearson Highway, traffic is moving along moderately. Slow moving traffic on Crew Road, heading to Georgetown. Some roads are wet, so please drive with extra caution. As we can see the rain coming down in the vicinity of the Butterfield roundabout. And traffic coming off of the Esteli-Tibbetts Highway is moving along steadily. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. Please drive with extra caution. On the Westway Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moving along pretty good in both directions. No issues coming from the Westway four-way stop. Owen Roberts Drive, light to moderate traffic flow. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, little steady traffic. Off of Agnes Way, moderate flow of traffic. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 12:15. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
The following is a paid political announcement by the Caymanian Community Party.
The PPM had their turn. What did we get? Exploding population, soaring cost of living, secret deals, and unfair immigration system. You're scraping by while they help their friends cash in. You tighten your belt while they blow money on vanity projects. Enough is enough. The Caymanian Community Party is different. We will make sure Caymanians have an opportunity in our own country. No side deals, no shady alliances. On April 30th, vote TCCP for a stronger, fairer Cayman.
That was a paid political message by the Caymanian Community Party.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Boy, I'm so glad I got that funding from the Ministry of Tourism's Visitors Experience Development Grant Program. It has really helped me create an awesome new tourism offering. Wondering if you could do the same? You're in luck. Applications for the VEDG program are now open. Visit www.ourcayman.ky/VEDGP for more information and to apply.
The following is a paid political broadcast. The views, information, or opinions expressed in this forum are solely those of the participants of this event and do not represent the views of the management and staff of Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, in the studio with me, Deputy Premier and also Deputy Leader of the People's Progressive Movement, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, is in the studio with me this morning. Deputy Premier, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and good morning to the wonderful listeners of Radio Cayman and also the viewers of Listener Cayman. It's a pleasure to be here. 2 days to go. This time in the next 48 hours, people will be making the biggest decision that they can make every 4 years, which is electing the right people for the job. And I'm honored to be on here to talk to them a few more times just before they make that call, particularly for those in Georgetown Central, but the greater Cayman Islands, because it's very important. So I'm glad to be here. How was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was fine. You know, as long as I'm able to get on the bike. Got on the bike yesterday. Did about, 54 miles? Short,
Nice.
but, yeah.
I'm not sure if I can drive that long. Let's just ride it, but
Thanks
good.
for asking.
You're most welcome. It's good to be on here. Today I want to talk about a couple of things. This is a paid program, so I don't have the whole show, but I'll be here as long as I can. First, I want to start off by saying thank you to all the amazing people of Georgetown Central who have been there with me thus far during the campaign. And I must say my heart is warmed by the responses. You know, the last 4 years has been turbulent from a political perspective, and I really wish I could have said that we've done so much more. But obviously a lot of the ups and downs and back and forth has caused a lot of wasted time. I think we could have done probably about 70% more than what we did. But all the same, we are here, and I want to thank the good people of Georgetown Central for continuing to believe in me, recognizing some of the elements of what happened, but still believe in me as an individual. Much of the sentiment, I was actually just opening up my spreadsheet here, and having just over 917 persons that I spoke to that has confirmed they will support me, and that's a good number to go into the election with. Sadly, I haven't been able to get out to everybody, and for all of those voters in Georgetown Central, a lot of people have moved from their location, whether they've moved within the constituency or moved outside of the constituency since the election. So it's been hard to get to everybody, and there's still a few places that I haven't gotten to by way of canvassing. So by chance, if there's any of you who are listening this morning, I just want to say that not because I didn't want to come and see you, but with the business of the campaign and also working with my colleagues trying to ensure a whole government is elected, or you may have not been home when I stopped by, I want you to know that I'm committed to being there for you, and if you still need to have a quick chat with me before deciding to vote for me for the first time or support me once more, you can contact me on 926-0005, 926-0005. And if you don't get me right away, because usually when I do put up my number, I get a lot of calls right after the show, just give me a WhatsApp and say, listen, I'm one of your voters, and I want to have a chat with you before I place my X. This will help me to try to respond to as many people within the next 48 hours as possible. I know the importance of having a straight conversation about the things that are important to you, and this will help me with getting to as many people as possible. So those who are listening, who are my voters, I love you. I appreciate you. I understand my job and my role for you, and I will continue to do all the things and the way I represent you as I've done for the last 8 years for another 4. So I would like to have your continued support again on Wednesday when the polls open at 7 a.m. in the morning. And speaking about polls, I want to share some very important information with the public, those who are voters in Georgetown Central. There's some things that you might want to remember if you don't know already, is that you need a form of government identification in order to vote, preferably a voter's ID. And if you don't have a voter's ID yet, you still have time.
Yeah.
You can still have an opportunity today and tomorrow to go get one printed at the elections office at, is it Baytown? Not Baytown Plaza.
Marion's Plaza.
Marion Plaza,
Yeah.
which is right across from the wharf where the KFC drive-thru is.
They have to go in person because they need to capture their photograph,
correct,
as well as their signature. So you have to go in person. You can't send someone else, for it.
Thank you for adding that. That's the voice of a former head of the elections process telling us. Deputy head. So you can still get your voter's ID today, or you would have to end up using a different kind, which can be used as your passport, or you can use
an expired passport. I've heard the supervisor of elections say would be acceptable. It's just want to verify that you are the person.
Oh, perfect. So there we go. No need to be worried whether it's expired or not. But you can use your passport or your driver's license. Another bit of information that is important to note, that the polls open at 7 a.m. and they close at 6 p.m. So you have 11 full hours to come and vote. But I know that all my people in Georgetown Central are going to come out really, really early. And everybody should be completed their voting process by midday, because Georgetown Central people are always on time. And we will get out early and show the people of the Cayman Islands who they want for their representative. The other thing is, if you need exactly where the location is probably the most important. The polling stations is at Georgetown Town Hall and the public library. And you may ask yourself the question, why is it in two places? Well, we have 4 polling stations, meaning 4 categories of vote. So from A to Z, our numbers of registered voters in Georgetown Central is 1,470 persons. And that list is divided up into 4. And the first set will be in polling station 1, second set in polling station 2, third set polling station 3, and the last set in polling station 4.
Broken up by alphabetical order.
Correct. Thank you so much for that, OC. So you will know where you fall based on your last name. And the good news is you don't have to, and a lot of people have asked me, well, which one am I in? The truth is the elections office hasn't given the details of whether the first set of polling stations, polling station 1 and 2, will be in the town hall or in the library. But usually 1 and 2 is in one or the other, and then the other 2 will be in one or the other.
And there'll be signs indicating, what the alphabet range is and where you would go. Plus, field officers will be there to assist individuals as well in terms of determining where they go.
Exactly. Again, more further clarity to where the location is. And don't worry about it. Once you get to the town hall or the library, they're actually 39 feet away from each other. So if you go to the town hall and you're supposed to be at the library, the field officers will just say, walk across the street, and you can go into the town to the library and do it, or vice versa. So no need to worry. Just remember that your area for you to go and vote is at the Georgetown Town Hall or the Georgetown Public Library. For some of you out there who are listening, maybe you may need assistance getting to the polls. You may not have a ride, or you just want to be certain that you get there on time, and you don't have a car if you want assistance. Some people with disabilities may want assistance who miss the opportunity for mobile voting. And I know that there's some that I have to go and get assistance for, and we're going to have a wheelchair available just outside of the boundary, because we're going to set up shop outside the boundary of the electoral distance that you're obligated to be outside of, which is 300 feet. I do this every election, just in case there's any assistance. My team will go be picking people up and drive them up to the boundary where we're stationed. And those who have difficulties walking and so forth will have a wheelchair, and we'll take them to the polls. As an elected, as a candidate, I have the authority to go into the polls for a short period of time for things like assisting persons to the area, as well as to talk to my agents. So I'll be there. We have wheelchair access set up, and I'm happy to say the elections office is mindful that persons who have disabilities, to get them to the front of the line.
And they will have wheelchairs there as well.
Exactly.
Once you get in, to the 300-foot perimeter, they will have a wheelchair system.
I didn't even know that, but I just made sure that in case they didn't have it, I would.
Yeah, but your point is getting them from where you are located outside to at least that 300-foot perimeter.
Inside,
yes, yeah.
Correct. So don't worry if you need assistance in that respect. We will be there for you. So if you need a ride and you need to be picked up, please call me or call my team. And I want to give you the time. I'm going to give you a telephone number now. So if you're doing something or if you want to ask somebody in the car to use your phone and put this number in or write it down, I'm about to read it out. So the first number is my office number, which is 936-4040. The second number is another office number, 924-3010. And my personal number, 926-0005. If you don't get anybody right away, because a lot of people might be calling during this time, just send me a text and we will respond to you. Again, 936-4040, 924-3010, or 926-0005, and we'll pick you up and take you to the polls.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, when we return, the conversation with Deputy Premier, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, will continue. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cayman, it's time to paint the town red. Join us for the PPM Final Rally, Tuesday, April 29th, 7 p.m. Compass Green, live entertainment, food, refreshments, and unity. Come one, come all. Bring the family, bring the energy, and be sure to bring the red. Don't take the wrong turn, Cayman. Let's go forward. Vote PPM.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
The proceeding was a paid political broadcast.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, who's seeking to defend his incumbency in the constituency of Georgetown Central in our upcoming April 30th general elections, 2 days away. Mr. Bryan, when I look back at the results for the 2021 election, the figures show that you received 87.1% of the vote cast in Georgetown Central. It looks like there may have been a total of 977 votes
persons come out to the
votes
poll.
cast. Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. I did pretty well last election, and I'm very, very happy that those many people supported me, gave me a level of confidence going into this last term, that I had the people's support. And I hope to retain those persons to continue to support me. And I've given my good people of Georgetown Central my all, and I intend to do exactly that again. 87% is a good amount to go into the gates in, and especially as well that this is a different race now. The last election I was going up against one person. In this case, it's going against two other persons. So the probabilities are in my favor, but I don't like to be complacent, because it's important that when you elect me and when the PPM gets the government, that I want to send a clear message that your next deputy premier will be a man that you elected and you put into office. I'm confident in my leader, the Honorable Joseph Hugh, will secure his seat. I think he's done a great job based on indications. He still has strong support of his people in Georgetown North. And we are the only party that has clarity in who the leadership would be, between myself as the deputy leader of the party and him as the leader of the party. So when you vote for the Progressives, you know that you'll be voting for two strong leaders that brings a wide range of experience, background. And I was thinking about it this weekend. I was actually saying, I'm really proud of our leadership members. Both Joey and I will bring a great compliment, not only from an experience perspective, parliamentary, him with his business background, me with my experience in social community life, as well as within the parliament and media, and the diverse backgrounds that we have and that we represent. I think we would bring forward a strong leadership structure. I don't think the other groups can say the same. We saw where the National Party has, I'm not sure if they even have a leader, because recently the leader has said, well, he's not the leader, he's actually the interim leader. So you don't know what the leadership is going to be in that group. The other one has the identified person, CCP, but no deputy. So at the very least, you know what will happen when you vote for a progressive government. You know who will be first in charge, you know who will be second in charge, you know who will be driving the policy direction. And that leads me to my decision to join the Progressives, because a lot of people over the last 6 months, have expressed, obviously every person who wanted to run or who incumbent would be talking about this within the last 6 months of their term, about whether they're going to run again, and seeking for the people to support them. And everybody that I've spoken to have always indicated, Ken, we support you. You did a good job. We know it's not perfect. I know the administration could have been better, but I know you worked hard. And I've not had a situation, or I can't recall of one throughout the campaign where a person says, Kenneth, you didn't do nothing, that kind of thing. They recognize that it's a holistic approach, and they've seen my individual accomplishments and my commitment to the people's voice, from being out in the community, continuing to inform them about what's going on, and always being prepared to respond to their requests and concerns. So, but most people have said to me, Ken, if you stayed an independent, there wouldn't be no questions about it. So some people have said, well, Kenneth, I support you, but I'm not really sure about the PPM. And I was like, well, I understand. I understand that any established group or party will have years of experience, and within those years of experience, also years of dispute of the policies that they made, and not everybody's going to agree with all your policies. Unlike a brand new group where you go no track record to nitpick at, so to speak. But I try to explain to everybody that the last 4 years is not how you do governance. It's not how you run a country. And the instability and the back and forth has caused so many issues that the elected arm didn't have enough time to focus on what was a priority, all the issues that we're facing: cost of living, housing, traffic, insurance, unemployment, the environment, and all the country's finances. Like, we need a group of experienced persons who are going to focus on the issues and not about what direction we're going to go in. And that's why I joined the Progressives. Not because I would never want to run just for selfish reasons, for just to be reelected. Because many people keep on saying that. They say, Kenneth, if you run as an independent by yourself, clear win. Look at your numbers the last time. But if I'm only doing it just to win for myself and that's it, without surety of coming back to say, listen, I can honestly say with my heart that I can deliver on the things that I'm saying that I want to do for you. Because I wouldn't be able to say that running by myself with clarity that there's going to be not 15 different directions, kind of like what we had the last time. And you don't deserve that. The Progressives will have had its issues, but no different than, say, for example, Bill Clinton, who ran with the Democrats, and then 20 years later you had Obama running for the Democrats. Two different leaders, and you might not have liked Bill Clinton, but you loved Obama. So I think that the Progressives today is not the Progressives of the past. And that's why I'm honored to have been selected as the deputy leader. And our leader, Joseph Hugh, offers so much in respect to his experience, along with my support and my experience. I think we make a strong leadership team. So I want people to know that voting for me, and regardless of whether I'm at PPM or not, it definitely makes no difference, because I'm not going to change in respect to my commitment to you. Definitely going to be more disciplined. I've had a lot more experience over 8 years, and I now fully understand that when you're in cabinet and you running the country, the things that is necessary to deliver on the promises and commitments that you're going to give. So that's one of the main reasons why I've joined the Progressives. But also, I think the immigration commitment that we've given in this manifesto, the book, because I think immigration and the reform that is connected to ownership and protection of our nationality, as well as control of our labor market, is probably one of the number one issues that are affecting so many other problems. And I'm happy to say that all my colleagues that I'm running with fully understand that, and we're prepared to make the necessary reforms, policies, to get our immigration system under control. So that's one of the shining points in this, that and housing. So I'm happy. For those who have questions, I'm happy to be a part of the People's Progressive Movement. And this PPM now is a different PPM moving forward, and with the luxury of having the experience and knowledge to take the country forward. But, OC, you had a question? Because I see, no?
No,
okay.
Nothing.
But speaking of that, I want to take this opportunity to talk to my supporters out there and the rest of the PPM family. You know, it's only 48 hours left, and we will have our final rally tomorrow night at the Compass Greens at 7 p.m. And we want every single soul in this country out there. We want that there's so many people that the police are going to have to come and lock off the roads, because there's how many people we got here now? 85,000. We want about 84,000 people at the Compass Greens tomorrow night. That's how many people we want there. And we want the supporters from every district, because the PPM and our team don't only represent the constituencies we have a candidate in. We represent the whole Cayman Islands. So we want to invite every single person out to the final rally. It's a show. We want to send a clear message to all those who are running, as well as to the country, that you will be electing a PPM government on Wednesday. I feel a level of confidence like I haven't felt throughout the whole campaign, that we are bound to be the government selected by its people, and I want to give my commitment to the people. We will not let you down. We have all the necessary skills and qualities and characteristics and disciplines to do what this country needs moving forward.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. That voice that you're hearing there is the voice of Mr. Kenneth Bryan, who's seeking to defend his incumbency in Georgetown Central. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Big decisions need real data. Before we vote on April 30th, we deserve to know the full picture.
Cayman's cruise industry can thrive without a peer. Instead of handing cruise lines more power, we should focus on better visitor experiences, fairer deals for local businesses, and smarter tourism investments. Many destinations are standing up for their local economies. So can we. Let's strengthen our cruise industry without giving up control. Vote no on April 30th.
Let's invest in what works. Vote no to cruise berthing infrastructure.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record in the studio with me, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, seeking to defend his incumbency in the constituency of Georgetown Central. Back to you, Mr. Bryan.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. I just want to say that I want every single voter that is registered to come out and vote. It's so important. Many times I talk about pickups and rides and stuff if you need help to get to the polls. But many times we see the voter turnout being low. And I think it's essential that this term you send a clear message to the country of who you want as your next leaders. The average turnout in voter numbers was 80% last election. Sadly, in my constituency, it was 70%. And I was trying to look back as to what was the causes, and I was like, the election before that, when I ran against the Honorable Marco Archer, it was 77%. But then I remembered we had an election in the middle of COVID. So could it have been that the COVID caused the numbers to drop, or another person said, Kenneth, you were poised to win, so people kind of like, oh, Kenneth won the seat, don't worry about it. I don't want that to happen, Georgetown Central. If you are one of my supporters, I need every single one of you to come out and cast your vote for me. It's important. Not only do we want to win the seat, we want to win the seat convincingly. So those who are in doubt as to your choice, I want to send a clear message in that respect. So I want everybody from Georgetown Central, please come out and cast your vote. If you need assistance, remember you can call me. I'm happy to assist in any capacity about getting you to the polls and getting you back home safely. I have my team ready to go. So again, my number is 926-0005, 926-0005. If you need either a ride to the polls or you are registered in my area, but you want to have a last conversation with me before you make that decision. Some people need that last encouragement and maybe not satisfied by now. I'm happy to do that. Just give me a call. If I don't answer right away, leave me a message and I'll call you back. Just say, I'm John Blow or Jane Doe, and this is, I'm registered in your area. Please call me back. And I promise you between now and the evening is done, I will call you. If not, just answer the first time you call. All right, so I want everybody to come on out and vote. Don't forget the PPM rally. I'm really happy about this.
Okay.
The PPM has had the largest meetings throughout the whole campaign. And I want to say a special thanks to all of those supporters. And I want you all to remember tomorrow night, we're going to paint Georgetown red. We want every single person to come out. If you are a person that you work for a company or you work for the civil service and you can't wear a PPM shirt, we totally understand. Wear something red. If it's your socks, your shoes, your belt, just a plain t-shirt, put a red clip in your ear, something. But come on out and bring your family and friends with you. This is our last opportunity to remind the public about the vision, the plans and hopes and dreams that we will join hands together and take this country forward.
And the time and venue again?
Is at 7 p.m. at Compass Greens. That's tomorrow night, Tuesday, April the 29th. And we're going to have a good time together. And then we're going to go home, get some rest, and get up early and get out to the polls and get us elected. And I want every single registered Georgetown Central person and everybody in every constituency to come on out to the PPM rally on the 29th at 7 p.m.
Any alternate venue in the event of inclement weather, rain, and anything?
We haven't had one, but I trust the Lord. He's going to hold things up in respect to it. The weather looks pretty bad tonight, so I'm not sure about other meetings for the weather tonight. But the last indication I got that there was some weather tonight, but none for tomorrow.
Okay.
So I want you all to feel comfortable. Matter of fact, our first opening, we got a little shower. The Lord gave us a little bit of blessings, and within 3.5 minutes, it went away. So, to be honest with you, the mangoes need the water because all the mangoes dropping off from the heat. So, I never shy away from any blessings from the Lord, but I know particularly our seniors can't be out in draft and getting wet and stuff like that, or anybody for that fact. But I trust the Lord, and I know He's going to hold up that tomorrow night is a nice, cool night. And it's going to be a perfect opportunity to speak about the future together. So don't be afraid to come on out. We will be there, every single one of our candidates. So you will find one of your representatives there. In West Bay, we love you and we haven't forgotten you. We still stand with you and we protect the interests of all Caymanians, even though we don't have a candidate up there. But I can promise you this, 2029, we will. So I want, again, to remind everybody about, particularly in Georgetown Central, you need your voter's ID or a driver's license or a passport, regardless if they're expired, just take them with you. You need a government ID to vote. The polls open at 7 a.m., closes at 6 p.m. The location is at the Georgetown Town Hall or the Public Library, and they're both right next to each other. So whichever one that you're in, once you get there, the agents, the elections reps will tell you which building you need to be in. Just walk to them and they'll explain. If you need a ride or a pickup to take you to the polls, or you need assistance with a wheelchair or what have you, we'll be happy to assist.
Cell phones, let them know about cell phones not allowed to be taken into the voting booth with them.
Correct.
So they will have the ability to leave them. They can either leave them in their vehicles or they can leave them. I think the field officers have provisions where they will give them a number, a ticket number. They will put their cell phone in a Ziploc bag or something like that, and they retrieve it after they have voted.
Correct. So it's probably best you just leave it in your vehicle. That way you don't have any concerns, but there will be provisions to put it one side until you get back out. The normal time it takes to vote is 7 minutes. You'll be in and you'll be out. The earlier that you go, the better to get it out of the way. Then you can have a whole day, a holiday to relax if you're not already working.
And reminders on the referendum question.
Yes, thank you very much.
The options in terms of.
Thank you very much. Actually, I'm so glad you said that, because people have been saying that you're obligated to vote on all of them. You do not have to vote on everything. If you have your convictions and you don't want to vote on a particular thing, whether yes or no, you can just leave it out. You have the right to choose to do all four things. And all four things is one, pick your candidate, and then the other three questions. So if you want to just say, I don't want to do anything with the referendum, I just want to pick my candidate, you can do that. If you want to just pick your candidate and pick two of the questions and answer them, you can do that. If you want to do all of them, you can do that. And you can do it in any variation that you want, whether it's yes or no to the three questions or just yes or no to one question. Nobody can stop you from voting for none or voting for all. And your ballot will not be spoiled. There's this discussion that if you don't vote for the referendum questions, your vote wouldn't count. That's not the case at all. I encourage you to participate in the referendum, but it's not going to do anything to your vote. So if you just want to vote for your candidate, that's fine. But I do encourage you to go ahead and vote yes or no to the three questions. And again, the questions are on cruise infrastructure, decriminalization of marijuana, as well as a national lottery. And they will come after you voted for your candidate.
On the same ballot paper.
On the same ballot paper, yes. Thank you so much for reiterating that. You will only get one paper, and the four things will be there for you to choose. OC, I want to say again to the good people of Georgetown Central, you've entrusted me for 8 years to work on your behalf. I've shown my commitment and my willingness to do whatever it takes to better your life. And it's no different today. So I'm seeking for you to vote for me again on Wednesday between the hours of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. I promise you that I will continue my commitment, and I can say with a full heart that my team and I that are working together have the experience and the commitment and the love for you to deliver on those many issues that are affecting you. Please, if you can, get a copy of the PPM manifesto. I'm certain in there's issues and solutions to those issues in it, and with a plan forward for you. I love you, I'm committed to you, and I look forward to after election day to celebrate with you.
Still have 2 minutes left.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I was delivering there as if to say that we were wrapping up, but that was in my stride, but that's good. I want to say that I'm still committed with you as I've ever been. And again, if you need to speak to me in any capacity, or if you just need to pop by my office, which is on Eastern Avenue, Crown Square building, and it's unit number 6, my office. If you can't get a hold of me for some reason or another, there should be no reason why I'm not calling people back or answering the phone right now. You can always stop by there and just say, I'm a voter, I need to speak to Kenneth, tell him to call me. And trust me, somebody will get back to you before the end of the day. And again, I want to say thank you for the 8 years of commitment and journey with me. It's been the best 8 years of my life working on your behalf. And I look forward to working for you for another 4 years. So don't forget, I am number 1 on the ballot. So I'm the first person you will see. You'll see the letter, or the number 1, my name. Then you're going to see my picture. Then you're going to see the PPM logo. And then there's going to be an empty box to the right. That's where you place your X. If you have any questions or concerns about how to do the vote, I'm happy to explain. I did a draft look at how the ballot is done, and I'm going to be sending that out by WhatsApp so people can get an idea with instructions of how to do your vote. If I don't have your telephone number and you're a voter in Georgetown Central already, I need it. Please text me with your name and your telephone number so I can make sure that I've got your contact. Again, my personal mobile number is 926-0005. 926-0005. And that's for Kenneth Bryan, the representative for Georgetown Central. And for those new persons who have just been registered for the first time in Georgetown Central, thank you so much. And God bless you. I promise you I'm the right person for the job.
Thanks very much, Mr. Bryan. Good luck. Good luck on Wednesday, April 30th. Folks, we're going to go to headline news. When we return, we will have other guests in the studio, so please stay tuned. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after headline news.
The preceding was a paid political broadcast.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Community members are welcome to a 345 Robotics Showcase this afternoon at Signal House, where you can meet the team members and see their rapid relay robots in action. It's taking place today from 3:30 to 6 at the Cayman Enterprise City Building off Fairbanks Road. The first polls are open in Canada, where a snap election is being held to determine who will become the country's next prime minister. It comes just 6 weeks after Mark Carney was sworn in as PM, replacing his party colleague Justin Trudeau. The two clear frontrunners are the Liberal Party, led by Carney, who has been in power for a decade, and the Conservative Party. Voting comes after a car was driven into a crowd at a street festival in Vancouver over the weekend, killing at least 11 people, including a 5-year-old girl. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a temporary ceasefire in the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin says the ceasefire will run the morning of May 8th through the 11th of May, which coincides with victory celebrations to mark the end of World War II. In a statement, it said Putin declared the ceasefire, quote, based on humanitarian considerations. Ukraine has not yet responded. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Leon Gold, you can be the one for the people. Leon Gold, vote number 2. Leon is the one for you. Leon is the one for you. I said Leon is the one for you. So vote number 2. Graham said, I've heard up there the streets are made of gold. Leon Gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. Cayman, I believe, when your day is down here all through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. Do the right thing. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do. Yeah, man, there's a place up there for people like you.
The preceding was a paid political broadcast.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Calling all residents of Grand Cayman and the Sister Islands to catch a ride on the Purple Train. The Cayman Islands National Party invites you to attend their finale party rallies for one last chance to celebrate the party and their vision of unity, prosperity, and hope. The celebration begins with all 12 candidates in Cayman Brac on Saturday, 26 April at house number 396, The Creek, starting at 6:30 p.m. and then continues in Grand Cayman on Monday, 28th April at A.L. Thompson's parking lot, Georgetown, starting at 7 p.m. There will be food, music, and live entertainment. Don't miss this chance to jump on the purple train and celebrate with the CINP. We look forward to seeing you there. This ad is sponsored by the Cayman Islands National Party.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, Cayman. It's Heyman Rankin, your candidate for Bordentown West. I'm inviting all of you to my final public meeting before the big vote on Election Day. It's happening this Tuesday, the 29th of April at 7 p.m., right at the entrance to Northwood Road. This is our last chance to come together and discuss the issues that matter most before we head to the polls on the 30th. I'll be sharing my vision and connecting with each and every one of you. I am Heyman Rankin, and I'm ready to listen, ready to lead, and deliver the change Cayman desperately needs. See you Tuesday, 7 p.m. at the entrance of Northwood Road.
Ranking if you want for we. Give him the vote and you will see.
That was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political broadcast. The views, information, or opinions expressed in this forum are solely those of the participants of this event and do not represent the views of the management and staff of Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As you know, we're 2 days away from the elections. While in Canada, they're having their elections today. Ours will be on Wednesday. So it is coming down to crunch time now, and you're hearing more and more ads on Radio Cayman as well, more political ads. I'm sure some of the candidates, must be exhausted at this point in time, despite the fact, of course, those persons who have never been candidates before, you hear them say, we have such a short period of time for campaign and for us to hear from the candidates and stuff. When you're on the other end of it, it is something else. But we can talk about that later. It's my pleasure to have in the studio with me for this segment two of the People's Progressive Movement's candidates, Miss Crystal Gomez Wilson.
I think we've dropped the Wilson now at this
point.
Drop
it? Okay, Miss Crystal Gomez. And she's seeking to represent the constituency of Prospect in our upcoming elections. And Mr. Roy Tatum, who is vying for the seat in Red Bay as well. Folks, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Morning, OC, and morning, Cayman, morning, Red Bay. Morning to my friends and family over there in Cayman Bracket, Little Cayman. Always good to be here with you, OC, so thanks for having us.
Great to have you as well. And tell us what's been happening. We know that on the commercial side of things have wrapped up. I have remarked, before on several other occasions that this campaign, while technology is being used, social media is being used, it seems as if what has been effective is those yard meetings and just being out there. The footwork is, to me, what's going to pay off at the end of the day. Your views?
I just have to really quickly say that I never forget my first conversation with Miss Lucille Seymour. Mm-hmm. And she said one thing to me: politics is local. You can have all the advertisements in the world, but if you're not out there talking to the people in their homes, listening to them, you're not going to get anywhere. So that has been my experience, and I'm sure Roy feels the same way.
I certainly have, and as much as I think I've done, I wish I would have been able to do more. And but you're right. I haven't had very many of the hurrah meetings. We had two major meetings together. I've had some smaller meetings. But most of it is going knocking on doors if people aren't home, trying to get phone numbers and calling them and actually speaking with them. And even this morning, driving here, I was able to actually reach out to a constituent I hadn't been able to speak with. And we had a long conversation, and she reminded me of a conversation that she and I had 30-odd years ago and the impression that made on her at the time and how much she's always respected me. I say that to say that these stories come back to you. And it's humbling, and but yeah, the best thing to do is to actually speak to people face to face. If you can't get them on the phone, but at least have a conversation with the voter.
Absolutely.
absolutely important.
Okay. Now we know that your party will get the overall message out there, but you want to address your constituencies at this point in time, the people who will be voting for you in each respective constituency. You may also want to take the time to advise them of any special provisions that you're making for persons who need assistance in getting to the polls or otherwise as well. So the mic is yours.
Yeah, before I go any further, I do want to say a special good morning to everybody in Prospect. Thank you for welcoming me into your homes. I make this joke all the time, but if I have to eat another piece of cassava cake or corned beef sandwich, I mean, everybody's just been, oh, you want something to drink, you want something to eat, and I wouldn't change that for the world. That is Cayman kindness at its best.
Yes.
I do also want to take this quick opportunity to thank my committee, who have been crucial to how far I've come throughout this election cycle. And also to my lovely husband, because without him and his support with our children, I would not be able to.
So the Wilson is still there.
The Wilson is 100% there. I make the joke that people don't know Crystal Wilson; they know Crystal Gomez Wilson. But as the months have gone on, OC, I've just decided to change it to Crystal Gomez. It saves me one word to say. So. But yeah, we've been canvassing hard and having conversations with people from all walks of life, and that's back to the whole meeting aspect. We can have all the meetings in the world, which are great for the atmosphere and building the hype and getting that excitement going. But when you're face to face with someone, they can not only express personal views and challenges and concerns, they just feel a lot more comfortable talking about those things in their own home. So I'm very proud that we have hit the road and pounded that pavement for the last couple of months, talking to as many people as we can, because with that I've now have such a clear understanding of what it is my people in Prospect need, what the focus should be on. It also really drove home the fact that a district council is absolutely necessary in Prospect. I cannot speak for everybody in my area. I have to have people that are from different backgrounds, different expertise levels, all of that to form an effective voice for Prospect. I will then obviously act as the conduit, the channel between Prospect and government and parliament and all that, but I still need those people on the ground living the challenges just like me to really get somewhere in Prospect, and it's needed. I'm looking into the eyes of older Caymanians, I'm looking into the eyes of younger Caymanians, and throughout it all, the cross section still lies on home ownership. That it doesn't matter what walk of life you're coming from. Home ownership is still a big issue in Prospect. We're obviously a small island. We're not getting any bigger. We can't generate something that isn't there. So home ownership, cost of living, flooding is obviously a huge thing in Prospect as well. It has never really effectively been dealt with, and there are a lot of small solutions that we can address in the short term. My husband's a contractor, so he's naturally looking at different ways to build, always dealing with planning. So that has actually opened my eyes to a few things like porous pavements. And I know that sounds so minute, but when it comes to new builds, looking at these little tiny things we can factor into those structures to alleviate flooding will go a long way, because one building being built can obstruct the water flow for an entire community and wreak havoc. And we've seen it happening all throughout Canyon, Dawn, Raven, all of those communities back there on the bypass. So again, I just think that I bring a new energy, a new foresight to things. And the way I think is very different as well. I look at the future. I look at preventative measures before it becomes an issue. And those are key things to get me into office. They're key things that will make me successful over the next 4 years. And I have that energy, that drive that I haven't seen in a long time in Prospect. So, I'm sure that the voters will make a smart decision. I'm sure that, everybody's probably decided who they're voting for at this point. But I do want them to think about what I bring to the table in terms of the party behind me as well. We already know who's going to be premier. The Honorable Joey Hugh will sit and be the next premier of the Cayman Islands. We already know who the team is for the PPM, which is why we've been encouraging people to vote straight from East End down to Georgetown North, because there are no surprises. You have a ready-made package of a dream government coming forward come May 1st.
And if I could add,
sure.
across the waters to Kevin Bragg.
That's right. Yes, of course. So yeah, we're already ready to serve. There are no surprises with us. You know who's going to lead this country, and you know that you have an incredible slate of candidates to vote for on April 30th.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we'll hear from Mr. Tatum about Red Bay as well. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Big decisions need real data. Before we vote on April 30th, we deserve to know the full picture.
Cayman is being asked to approve a cruise berthing facility, but key details remain unclear. Where will it go? What is the actual cost? How will it impact local businesses and jobs? What we do know is that cruise corporations already keep 70% of passenger spending, and a pier won't change that. Before we commit to something this big, we need more data. Vote no on April 30th.
Cayman's economy should work for Caymanians, not cruise corporations. Vote no to cruise berthing infrastructure.
The following is a paid political message by the Progressives.
Residents of Georgetown North, I'm reaching out to you to encourage you to cast your vote for me, Joey Hugh, on May 30th. Together we can continue to build safer and stronger communities based on unity, cooperation, and a shared vision for our future. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I've had to represent you over the past 12 years, and I look forward to the chance to serve you as your representative for the next 4 years. Your support is vital to making our communities thrive. Thank you, and let's work together for a brighter future.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
That was a paid political message by the Progressives.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Miss Crystal Gomez. She's seeking to represent the constituency of Prospect in upcoming elections. Of course, she's a member of the People's Progressive Movement, and another member of the People's Progressive Movement, Mr. Roy Tatum, seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay. Mr. Tatum.
Thank you, O.C. Yes, I've been a member of the PPM since inception, many years now. From the early days when Honorable Kurt Tibbetts called me up and asked me if I'd attend a meeting of a group that then became the PPM, it's changed. My life changed after that, for the better. I'm going to start also. The first thing on my agenda, as Crystal just did, was just thanking the public. Thanking the many people who accepted me to their homes, who talked on porches, talked by the roadside, and folks who saw me walking on a road. And then there's one gentleman I remember in particular who stopped his car and came back and walked towards me, and he wanted me to know that he supported me and wished me well, and we had a good long conversation. And I mean, those things really touch me when people like that put their heart and soul and support into you, and you know why you're fighting, why you want to help improve people's lives. And I'm not made up that I can let people down. So I will certainly, God's willing, if I'm elected, I'll be fighting for the people of Red Bay and the country. But I also have to give a huge shout out, thanks also to the support team, as Crystal mentioned.
100%.
We have a fantastic support team. I have a group of individuals. One is home ill at the moment. I'm giving her a shout out, wishing her well. I won't call names. But these folks help me canvass, and they give up their personal time, their private time, for love of country, to support the process and to support a candidate. And I thank them immensely for that. It's things I used to do over many years for many candidates. And my family, I can't thank my family enough. My wife, my daughters. So in terms of the actual campaign itself, I'll say this: I wish it's my first time as a candidate. I've been involved with 5 or so elections, support. First time as a candidate, and I wish I knew now rather than what I know now, because I might have done a few things different. But I am so incredibly happy and proud of the campaign that the PPM has run. That the campaign we continue to run above board. I have never cut down or attacked any of my the other candidates within Red Bay, and I will end this campaign doing that. I've had a lot of stuff flung at me, but I got broad shoulders. I can take it. But it has been an interesting campaign, and I'm looking forward to Election Day and the result. And I said, God's willing, I will be elected. Red Bay Primary School, folks in Red Bay who may not know, that is where you go on Election Day. And as I heard the Honourable Kenneth Bryan saying as I walked in, come early, vote early, enjoy the rest of the day. For those who can, maybe go down by the PPM office and say hello to the folks down there. But vote early, and if you need a ride, call the office at PPM or call me 926-8446, and we'll be happy to arrange a ride for you. So.
Yeah, I do actually need to add, obviously, where the polling station is. There will be 3 polling stations. Obviously, you have to go in and vote at the station where your last name falls. It will be Prospect Primary School. Polls open at 7 a.m. And we also will have a round trip. What's the word? Jeez, I need to sleep. We will have a round trip service to anybody that needs a ride to transport. There you go. See, there we go. Thank you, OC. And the number there is 321-0550. So anybody in Prospect that needs transport to and from the polls, please reach out. As Roy said, come out and vote early. Take the rest of the day, and just sit back and watch history being made.
And for those who may question, the provision of transportation, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's no provision in the Elections Act that prohibits, that taking place, as well. So people need to know that. What they need to do, though, if they're in possession of a PPM T-shirt or any other paraphernalia that indicates, party affiliation or candidate affiliation, they can't wear.
Big no-no.
Exactly. I was going to add that. Yeah, leave your PPM T-shirts at home. You, the law doesn't say anything about you wearing a red shirt, but we don't usually suggest you do that. Just go with regular clothing. Make sure also your vehicle doesn't have anything PPM related obvious in it. If you have something hanging up on the side, you can take it off, please. And those of you who have any yard signs for any of the candidates, please make sure that you take those down on the eve of the election. Don't wake up on election morning with those there. That's also hugely important.
Yeah. I think that's a little bit outdated, though. That is something that we need to look at in the elections, law in relation to that.
Both.
There may have been a place and a time for that.
Yeah.
Times have changed because you have social media where there's very little, regulation on there. How do you police social media platforms as well?
I agree with you. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I also just want to add as well that this election cycle has been particularly nasty. There's been a lot going around, and lies and rumors and this thing and the next thing, taken away from the fact that at the end of the day, may the best man or woman win. That's what this is about. The people are going to vote for who they think is going to best represent them. So, on election day as well, I plan to go in, cast my vote, and then step away, because I'm not going to be there to intimidate anybody. I am going to be there in the background in my command center, just watching the day play out confidently. But I just, there's a lot of stuff that went down this election cycle that I really hope and pray over the next 4 years gets rectified so that we can have a cleaner, more dignified race the next time around.
And you mentioned earlier the advisory district councils, and it would appear to me that what you're saying is that when you talk to people out there, there are people who want to be involved in the process. They want to be able to retain that connection with their elected representative and their parliament as well. And promises have been made in the past on this issue of advisory district council. How committed is your party to ensuring that those are put in place?
That is one of the first things I plan to do. And I'll tell you the main reason. It's for accountability. Everybody that I've spoken to has said, they haven't had any contact in the last couple of years. They don't know what's going on. They want that connection. The easiest and the most effective way for me to deliver that is to have a district council. So for me, it's all about accountability. I see this as any other job, and I'm sure Roy will agree. If you are in a job and you're not performing, you're not reporting, you're not communicating, you will get fired. That's how I see it. It is a job, and it's one of the most important jobs. So then it's tenfold to deliver on those things. So that's, for me personally, that's one of the main reasons that I will have a district council, for myself to be held accountable, because this is my job. And the people of Prospect are those that are going to keep me in check.
Mr. Tatum?
Thank you for that. District council is important. I think we need to suss out, though, because the law, when it was brought in force, was for a different time and a different type of constituency. It was brought in,
but not a huge hurdle to overcome.
Right. So, but I'll add to that, to what Crystal said. What is also important in terms of accountability, is having regular meetings. People can come out, see you face to face. For many years, up until for many years, I was chairman of the Georgetown branch of the PPM. Then the individual constituencies brought into being, and we never really got back to setting up individual. It's very difficult to get people sometimes to commit. It was easier in a larger Georgetown, but within each constituency. But we need to find a way to make it happen. But have regular meetings, having an office, which I will have an office. Crystal will have an office. If we're both elected, there's an office that we have found that we will share, because it ain't an easy to find place.
We spoke about that before. Yes.
Yeah. Prior to nomination, the Blomford nomination, I remember looking around, thinking, is there some place I could find fairly affordable? It wasn't even a matter of affordability. It was finding some place to find to use as an office. So, long story short, there is some place that may become available, and we will use that jointly if we're both elected, and have regular meetings, be present, be available for people. That is true accountability. The other thing is making sure that we actually walk through our constituencies on a regular basis. Right? This canvassing thing that we're doing now is important, but it shouldn't be that hard. It's only hard if you're doing it every 4 years. But if you're doing it throughout the year for 4 years, right, you then get to know more of the people. They get to see you more regularly. So apart from meetings, but just being present, walking down a road on a Saturday. Joey, who does that on a regular basis, right? But that is also something I'm committed to doing. Not only will it help me, I'm sure, get to know people a bit more, but I might even lose a bit more weight than I lost over the last 2 months. So you might have a slimmer Roy as well. But all fun and jokes aside, it's hugely important that we actually make sure we're constantly connecting with the constituency.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, the voices that you're hearing right here on For the Record, Miss Crystal Gomez, who's a candidate for the PPM in the constituency of Prospect, and Mr. Roy Tatum for Red Bay. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superheroes shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, East Enders. This is Roy Carter, your candidate for East End Member of Parliament. I am extending an invitation to you and your family to attend my final campaign meeting and rally on Monday night, April 28th at 7:45 p.m. at Paccasac East End, opposite Pirates Cove. Come on out and support me in this final campaign meeting and rally so that we can bring about the change that East End deserves. Let's get it done. See you there. Bold leadership, bold initiatives, and bold results. On April 30th, East End, vote number 2, Roydell Carter.
Roydell number 2. Integrity, commitment shining through. No flip-floppers, no puppets here. It's Roydell Carter, loud and clear.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Suicide is a deeply painful issue that affects many families here in the Cayman Islands. It is not a sign of weakness, but rather an indication of suffering that deserves our attention and care. Mental health is an essential part of our overall well-being, yet it is often overlooked and stigmatized. The Cayman Islands National Party believes that every person facing mental health challenges deserves support and compassion, and we are committed to fostering a culture where it is safe to speak up and ask for help without judgment. Prevention begins with awareness, education, and open dialogue. Therefore, we encourage everyone to check in on your friends, loved ones, and colleagues, and to seek help if you are struggling. Remember, you are not alone. There is hope and there is help. If you or someone you know is in crisis, please reach out to K-Mind, our national mental health helpline, the Alex Panton Foundation, or any mental health professional for support. Together, we can break the silence, end the stigma, and build a community of healing. This message is brought to you by the Cayman Islands National Party.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Ms. Crystal Gomez-Wilson and Mr. Roy Tatum, respectively, seeking to represent the constituency of Prospect and Red Bay in our upcoming Wednesday's general elections. So, folks, we know that, or I believe that there are major parties out there. They have their gurus and their analysts and everyone else are looking at figures. Sometimes, there are comparisons that can be made. In others, there aren't. For instance, in the constituency of Red Bay, in the 2021 general election, you did have a candidate there in the person of Sir Alden McLaughlin. This time around, you do have a candidate, Mr. Roy Tatum, of course, but there are 3 other candidates as well. 4 other candidates as well. We see where in 2021, Sir Alden received 55.73% of the votes. In terms of your prospects, what do you think it is that you have to achieve as far as the percentage is concerned to win?
I'm not going to say in here what I think my percentage is, but I'll tell you this. If I get anywhere near what's around, I was happy with it. But no, it's I'm aiming. I have a number I'm aiming for, and if I get to that, I feel pretty confident that I will walk away with a win. But you never know till the day. But if I get 50% of the turnout, 50% plus 50% of the turnout in a 5-person race, that's doing well. But I won't actually say what my target number is. I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I don't want you to reveal too much strategy.
Understood. Because some of the other candidates are people that I know. At the end of this, we'll be friends. But until the end, we have a race we're running, and we all want to pass that goalpost first. So that's my intention.
And Ms. Crystal, in Prospect, you had 3 candidates, and the successful candidate at the end of the day obtained 37.24%, which was less than 2% for the person who came in second.
Yeah.
And in the case of Prospect this time around, we still have 3 candidates?
We do. Prospect has always been a pretty tight race. I think this time around, voter turnout is going to make a huge difference to what the percentages will be that, the person needs to win. But Prospect is notoriously PPM country. And I am an official PPM member wearing my red shirt, big and proud. So I think that will definitely benefit me in the long run. Naturally, like Roy, I have my own target, and I have been working hard to get there. I am a type of person that I don't stop until I can confidently feel good come election day. So I'm still going, still talking, still meeting people, still trying to push the message that PPM is the way to go come April 30th. But yes, it has notoriously been a very tight race in Prospect that I've fought very, very hard for over the last couple of months. So only the final count will tell. I do feel very good, but I'm not going to have any downtime in my mind. I'm still, in this to win it. So it's going to be, as I said, a very, very tight race, and I'm sure the people of Prospect will vote appropriately on April 30th. And on that note, sorry, my brain just kicked back into action. It's been a long couple of months. I just want to send a quick message to those who are considering not voting this election. I've come across a lot of people, and I would like to think that I've turned them to, actually cast their vote come Wednesday. But it is a sentiment that a lot of people are feeling because they have been severely let down over the last couple of years, And that's a natural feeling, but I also want them to know that by not voting, you're contributing to a different outcome that you might not necessarily want, and you're giving up the right for you to have any control over what that outcome is going to be. So take today, take tomorrow, and think about it, and think about going out there and making sure that you vote. It's your democratic right, and it's an amazing ability to have. So I really, really think that people need to exercise that right come Wednesday.
Have you been watching and analyzing in particular, it's very difficult to tell when it comes to the mobile voting part of things, but the postal vote. Have you looked at the numbers for your various constituencies? Are they up? Are they down?
I didn't do a comparison. I know I'm sitting down later today with one of our support staff and actually going over those. But I have noticed if they're up or down. But there was a lot of requests for both mobile and
postal.
Postal. Yeah. Tremendous amount of requests for postal. I know several people who traveled and are still were going to be away on election day, but wanted to be able to vote. So, and many of them actually and I thought this was actually quite smart, had the ability to say send the postal ballot to the elections office, and then they go into the elections office to collect it and vote it right there.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
I walked away with I was in there dropping off a request for a postal ballot for constituency. An older lady, she had her and her sister filled it out. They just wanted me to drop it off for her. And there was a gentleman there voting. I couldn't see who it was. I was standing talking. He went and he handed it in. He walked past and tapped me on the shoulder. He says, "That's one for you." So I looked at him and said, "Thank you very much." So yeah.
Yeah, I think there was about 35 mobiles for Prospect and just over 50 postals. And you know what? I am very proud to report that a lot of those postals were students. So that is something that makes my heart feel good, that a lot of the students are speaking up and getting their voice heard from overseas so that they can come back to Cayman and, find jobs, get back into the economy here. So that was a very, very proud moment for me to see how many students we had voting from overseas in Prospect.
It's actually it's a hugely important thing for young people to be involved with the process, be involved with politics. Over the years, I kept having the distinct impression, even when speaking with young folks, that some of them didn't have an interest, didn't want to be involved. But I'm hoping that tide is turning and there's more and more young people becoming involved. It's hugely important. I'm lucky my two daughters still talk to me because I used to take them into Parliament to experience what Parliament was like. We were involved with the PPM. They were at the back of the Lion Centre in the days when we were discussing various important things that was happening in Parliament, and they were there with me for the day. I remember my youngest daughter at one point, when we were all done, walking up on the stage by the microphone and pretend to be speaking. And Ard McLeod looked at her, looked up at me and said, "Roy, you have a good politician there." As a very bad Arden imitation. But anyhow, yeah. So it's fantastic to see young people involved. It's hugely important. And we used to have a youth arm of the PPM. That is top of our agenda.
Yes.
Once this is over and done with, we must get back to rebuilding that youth arm.
Absolutely.
And keeping people involved and keeping young people interested. Right, so.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, when we return, the conversation will continue with Miss Crystal Gomez-Wilson and Mr. Roy Tatum. Mr. Roy Tatum seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay, and Miss Crystal Gomez-Wilson seeking to represent the constituency of Prospect, both from the People's Progressive Movement. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cayman, it's time to paint the town red. Join us for the PPM Final Rally, Tuesday, April 29th, 7 p.m. Compass Green, live entertainment, food, refreshments, and unity. Come one, come all. Bring the family, bring the energy, and be sure to bring the red. Don't take the wrong turn, Cayman. Let's go forward. Vote PPM.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
The preceding was a paid political broadcast.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Say yes to progress, yes to job. Yes to peers that help our youths. Don't let fear decide the way. Vote yes to cruise on referendum day. Vote yes to cruise on referendum day.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of this segment of the show. We, of course, will end at 10 o'clock with Ms. Crystal Gomez Wilson and Mr. Roy Tatum, PPM candidates seeking to represent the constituencies of Prospect and Red Bay in our upcoming April 30th, 2 days away, general election as well. So we want to get as many reminders out there as possible in terms of events taking place, what you will continue to do on election day, some of the services that you will provide that are sanctioned by the Elections Act that allows you to do, as well. Mr. Roy Tatum mentioned earlier that he went to deliver an application for mobile voting for an individual. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. The Act does not prohibit that. Now, if his signature or the signature of any agent of the PPM is on that application, then that's a different story. That would invalidate it. But just handing it in, doing, a favor in terms of handing it in, absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're practicing for when you become elected in terms of serving your constituency, I would say, right?
You are absolutely correct. The reason why they're doing mobile voting, because they can't get to the polls. Right? They may not have a vehicle. In the case I mentioned, the lady lives with her sister. And therefore, the sister did the witnessing, and the lady completed the form herself. I merely arrived, collected it, and deposited, and took back the copy to her, showing that I did what I promised to do. But yes, to remind folks again, this is a service. People don't have cars and they want to get to the poll, and so we will have vehicles available. So again, for Red Bay, call 926-8446, or WhatsApp. WhatsApp may be easier because the phones may be used quite a bit. So, but let us know, and we will get someone to pick you up and drop you off at the pole and then get you back home after you're done.
And for Prospect, that number would be 321-0550. 321-0550 for a round trip to the polls and back. Prospect Primary School on Election Day. We also are going to be having our final rally tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the notorious Compass Green that has been painted red a lot over this election cycle. So we're very excited for that. Come out and see all of the candidates of the PPM from all walks of the Cayman Islands. It's going to be one amazing night, one amazing rally to just get that blood pumping, paint Cayman red, and vote PPM straight on April 30th. So we're very, very excited for that. I'm sure some of the candidates would rather be home sleeping to rest up for the action-packed day on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day.
But we never stop. I mean, I have survived dog attacks, everything over the last couple of weeks.
Let her tell that story after.
Oh my goodness, that was, yeah. I need to be more wary of my surroundings, but I was determined to knock on that door, and I almost paid for it with a dog bite. But anyway, we are very, very excited. So we encourage everybody to come out, listen to the candidates speak tomorrow night. Compass Green, 7 o'clock. We are going to be painting Cayman red with the PPM.
Very well said. Very well said. And Red Bay, we're going to keep Red Bay PPM red. But purpose for tomorrow also, big last hurrah. But it's also an opportunity for us to thank the public one last time before election day. And I have to say, it's those over the years, I've looked forward to those because it really does. You walk around. First one was the candidates. Previous elections, last 5, I was part of the support staff. But even then, you walk around just talking to regular Caymanians who pour their heart and soul and passion into supporting your team, and it really buoys you up and makes you feel fantastic. And hard to sleep when you get back home, but we sleep and then we're up very, very early to get started again. So yes, tomorrow,
it's true, yeah.
Compass Green starting at 7 p.m. So everybody come on out. It's gonna be a fantastic evening. I want to pick up on something you said before we close, is that you mentioned PPM is the way to go. I felt that way for 20-something years. There's something about the party that has kept me involved and a part of it, helping it to grow and continue to see it thrive. And it's always been just the caliber of people that we've had. And I'm very proud of this group of candidates. Yes, I'm one, but I'm extremely proud of this group of candidates as well. If you haven't done so, go and download our manifesto from the website, or contact us and we can send it to you. But you can pick up any PPM manifesto. You can go on the website, you'll find every manifesto going back to 2005, I think it is.
Wow.
Every single election we have a manifesto. You can look through those manifestos, so speaking to the public, you can look through them, you can tick things off. When we say we're going to do something, it's not because these are just things on paper. These are commitments that we've made to the Caymanian public, and we feel seriously about them, and we make sure we get them done. We campaigned on a new airport. We got it done from cash. We campaigned on neighborhood policing. We got it done. We campaigned. Took us 2 election cycles to get it done, but we campaigned on separating the work permit aspects that used to be part of immigration from immigration, so immigration could focus on border control. We got it done. You could tick off as you go through a PPM manifesto at the end of our term and see the things that we actually get done. I'm proud of that. So we're not a party in name only. We have supporters. We have people who have supported us for 20-odd years. We have new supporters who are on board with us. I have a gentleman who I spoke with just over the last day or two, and he said to me, "Roy, I'm voting PPM. I'm voting party. The independence thing last time didn't work. I'm not voting for any independent." And these are his words, not mine. I'm repeating them. And he said something to me which struck a chord. He said, there's something to be said for consistency.
Mm-hmm.
20 plus years of being involved in the political process, not just arrive lately, but you're consistent. Maybe, you see his words, you may not have gotten everything right, but you got a lot right. And so he was going to be voting PPM because of that reason. And I have to say, I appreciate that. Also, if you don't have a copy of my Red Bay manifesto, reach out to me or look at my website. If you, I think it's Roy for PPM. Sorry, Roy for redbay.com. But or message me and I will make sure I get a copy of that to you. But this came out of those listening tours that when we first talked. I mentioned I was doing. So the things in here comes from that.
We cannot end this show without saying a special shout out to Miss Jewel Bodden, who listens religiously, and oh, do we love her so. And I also have to say good morning and how much I thank my mother, Kathy Gomez, for her support over the last couple of months and the last 40 years.
Yeah. You know, my mom sadly passed away. I've now lived longer than my mom. Been around, but I mentioned her a few times on the campaign trail because she's she was very instrumental with several, as mothers are, but certainly in terms of politics, we always talk politics. First time I went to vote, I probably told you the story before if I haven't this first time. Back then, the election day wasn't a holiday. It was a working day still. I was at Barclays Bank in Cayman and Mom came. Roy came to the counter. Roy, you had a lunch. Oh yeah, no, Mom, you voted? No, but let's go. Got down to the voting. To the polling area, and she then got out of the car, put her arms around me and said, "You know who you're voting for?" I said, "I kind of think so." She said, "But let me tell you." Gilbert McLean and Mary Colonel. Never forget it. That was the first votes I made.
It's funny though, just to add real quick, how that's changing though, because I felt like I always voted for based on who my family were voting for over the years. My father being the supervisor of elections, I did not have a choice but to vote every single election from the time I was able. And I'm finding now a little break away from that though, that the parents are voting for a certain person and the kids are now branching off with their own thought on who they would think would best represent them in their constituency. So it's interesting to see a lot of things changing from when I first was able to vote back in. You know what, I can't do the math there. I'm not going to go down that road. But anyway, it's interesting to see that there are a lot of changes happening with the political landscape these days.
And Crystal, you mentioned the fact that the campaigning, a part of the campaigning has been, really, really contentious, and that's putting it mildly.
Yes.
But in terms of your reception, other than the dog incident, in terms of your the reception that you have received from the potential voters, can you speak to that?
Yeah, it's been incredible. They are so happy to see new, young, and you know what? I have to touch on this. Everybody keeps calling me young blood, but you know that we've had a lot of politicians that were successful years younger than I am right now running for office. So I do have to just add that in. But the reception has been incredible. I mean, I am very, very thankful for how warm and welcoming everybody has been. You know, a lot of those doors were open because I'm PPM. A lot of those doors were open because of my parents and who they are, because a lot of the older generation might not necessarily know who I am. But a lot of those doors were opened out of necessity, out of I need to know who this new person is that's coming in with a fresh perspective, new energy, and no hidden agendas. I can't stress that enough. I walked away from a perfectly good job in the private sector to do my duty as a young Caymanian and step forward. You know, Roy was talking about everything that PPM has achieved. I'm living, breathing proof of what our leader Joey Hugh achieved when he said he was bringing a new slate of candidates into the fold, people that, were up and coming, people that, a mix of experience as well as newcomers. He delivered on that 100%. And I, just like Roy, I'm very proud of the team that we have for the upcoming election.
And I'll add this to that. So something you said, and I wrote it down, but on transparency, as we head into this election, and I look around, there is no other group, I don't believe, who is as transparent as we are. And I'll add this. I recently saw or heard the leader of one party saying that he's, for the first time ever, he is interim leader. And after the election, they'll choose a new leader. So you don't know who your premier for that party is going to be. I can tell you this, Red Bay, I can tell you this. PPM is the government. My premier, our premier, is going to be Joey Hugh. Our Minister of Finance is going to be Roy McTaggart.
Mm-hmm.
And the deputy will be the Honorable Kenneth Bryan. We need a Roy McTaggart on board, because the finances is one of the first things we need to get back to being where they need to be. I know what we did as a PPM over those 8 years. I wasn't elected, but I was there. And I know what we did in terms of rebuilding confidence in government, in terms of rebuilding government finances, cutting the debt by half, spending only what we had. Every project that we completed was built from cash. And I know we did it then, and we can do it again. Yes. That's how we got through COVID.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Because we had the ability and wherewithal, because the money was there.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that, sir.
Quick closing comments, Ms. Crystal, and give you one more shot at it before we leave.
I just want to thank everybody from Prospect for their support over the last couple of months. I know that I'm going to make everybody proud. I have worked hard, and I'm determined to follow through with everything that I've said. I just want everybody to go out early, Prospect, go vote. Vote Crystal Gomez Wilson, number 1 on the ballot on April 30th.
Excellent. And one thing I'll say, I should turn this piece of thing over just to, the website is roytatum.ky. It used to be Roy for Red Bay, but a guru changed it. It's roytatum.ky. And Red Bay, on election day, you know me, you know what my record is. I make commitments, not just promises, and I make sure those commitments happen. On election day, this is a turning point for the country, not just Red Bay, but the country. Vote for Roy Tatum, number 3 on the ballot, and across Grand Cayman into Cayman Brac, vote for your PPM candidate.
Yes.
We cannot make a mistake. We need to make sure we get back to a stable, strong, proven PPM government. We've done it before. We can put this country on the right track. I will be there for you, Red Bay. So thank you very much. God bless you.
Okay, I want to wish both of you the best of luck on election day
sir.
as well. I want to thank all of our listeners and our viewers, those of you who would have sent in comments during the course of the show this morning. Want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I suggest you extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to Worthy Charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Charlo, Mr. Charles Gliding, at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these 3 beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
The following is a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, Cayman. It's Heyman Rankin, your candidate for Bordentown West. I'm inviting all of you to my final public meeting before the big vote on Election Day. It's happening this Tuesday, the 29th of April at 7 p.m., right at the entrance to Northwood Road. This is our last chance to come together and discuss the issues that matter most before we head to the polls on the 30th. I'll be sharing my vision and connecting with each and every one of you. I am Heyman Rankin, and I'm ready to listen, ready to lead, and deliver the change Cayman desperately needs. See you Tuesday, 7 p.m. at the entrance of Northwood Road.
Ranking needs the one for we.